Go around on the outside, don't worry from one side to the other.
On behalf of the Department of Foreign Languages, I would like to welcome our distinguished guests, Major General Roberto Oviedo, Brigadier General Retired Anthony and Mrs. Smith, Brigadier General Cruz Isaac Munoz Navarro, Colonel Miguel Angel Conde Lopez, and Mrs. Maria Teresa Menendez Moro, Mrs. Harriet Wen Tum and Mr. Rick Wen, Dr. Bernardo Fernandez and Mrs. Rosie Fernandez, Mr. Alfred Wen and Ms. Maria Wen Adcock, and Mr. Keith Matthews, faculty, cadets, and particularly the families of the cadets of the class of 2011 to today's Department of Foreign Languages Award ceremony. Foreign language education at West Point began with the introduction of French in 1803, which was followed by the addition of Spanish in 1854. In 1882, the Academy established the Department of Modern Languages. Since that time, the department has added German, Portuguese, Russian, Chinese, Arabic, and Persian language instruction, in recognition of the need for a professional officer corps that understands the importance of diverse cultures and languages. Today, in addition to studying these 8 languages, our cadets participate in immersion and outreach programs to over 40 countries throughout the world, in both military and academic capacities. The responsibility for planning, coordinating, and executing the many facets of foreign language and culture instruction belongs to the staff and faculty of the department. The team incorporates a wealth of both academic and military experience. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I would like to introduce the staff and faculty of the Department of Foreign Languages. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, Colonel David F. DeMayo, Academy Professor and Acting Head of the Department of Foreign Languages.
All right, distinguished guests, cadets, and most especially parents of the class of 2011, on behalf of the faculty and staff, I want to welcome you here and invite you to do something that you don't often get to do during this hectic week, and that is to sit back and relax and reflect a little bit. I'm sure, as you've all discovered, that West Point is all hills and stairs, and they only go in one direction, and that's up. But believe me, we actually do have sunshine here sometimes, although you have not seen it this week, so we're certainly praying for a little bit of that for a few hours on Saturday at least. But I want to welcome you to just take this time and with us reflect on all the amazing things that your cadets have done over the past 4 years. You've seen some of the pictures already, you'll see some more later on, and yes, those really are your kids up on the peaks of the Alps and the jungles of the Amazon and the Great Wall of China, so really take some time to take it in, but that's really them. And it's been a tremendous experience for us. One of the greatest changes that has occurred in the Academy in recent decades has been the tremendous increase in the opportunity for cadets to travel and study and experience other cultures abroad. Back when I first came to the Academy, we sent a grand total of 2 cadets study in foreign countries, and both of those went to military academies. Today, we have some graduates here in this group have done themselves immersion programs on 3 different continents, not counting this one. So I'd like to ask of the cadets, all of you who have studied abroad, whether it be for a summer or a spring or a semester, to please stand. And as you can see, it's a lot more than 2 now. Of course, this is a tremendous opportunity. We've sent in the past year over 140 cadets to study for entire semesters in 14 different countries, of course in 8 different languages. And most of these cadets, the impressive thing is they go by themselves without faculty, and they take care of themselves. Now, of course, this being West Point, when this idea first came up, there was a lot of concern that these cadets would disintegrate if they didn't have parades and room inspections when they were over there. However, we have found instead they have gone and volunteered in orphanages in Asia. They have set up private charity organizations in Africa. They have worked with refugees in South America, in the Middle East, and I know of at least one who bought a hotel. So it's pretty, it just shows that we couldn't do this without a group of extremely mature, responsible, and resourceful cadets. And so today we want to thank some of the people who have made that possible, because most of these programs, almost all, are not paid for by West Point money. They're paid for by generous donors who believe in these programs and who recognize the need for cadets to be able to experience other cultures. Now, not all of those generous donors could be here with us today, unfortunately, but quite a few of them are. And so we want to take a moment to recognize them. We have with us Mrs. Harriet Wen Tung, Mr. Rick Wen, and the Wen family have been instrumental in establishing a tremendous program for cadets to travel and serve in China. It gives them unprecedented opportunities that have just made a tremendous impact on these cadets' lives. And Mrs. Wen is also the granddaughter of Lieutenant General Ying Shin Wen, who is the first Chinese graduate of the class of West Point from the class of 1909, not 2009, but 1909, a classmate of George S. Patton, whom we just paid honor to. It is buried in the cemetery here at West Point. So we're honored to have you here with us today. Dr. Bernardo Fernandez is the president of the Cleveland Medical Clinic, which is one of the top-rated medical research facilities in the country. And he is here today representing the West Point Friendship Fund, which again provides cadets with unprecedented opportunities to go abroad and establish friendships and relationships of peace in countries all over the world. We have with us with us today, Brigadier General Tony Smith is the former director of the Olmsted Foundation, which, cadets, if you haven't heard of it, you definitely want to make yourselves familiar with the Olmsted Foundation. This is one of the longest running programs that offers an opportunity for military officers to do graduate programs in foreign countries, in studying in foreign languages. And so I encourage all of the cadets here go out and check out the Olmsted Foundation website and make yourself aware of these programs. And since they're going to forget to do this, I really want to ask the parents if you would please go do it and make sure that your cadets know of these opportunities, because they're, in many cases in the Army, the best deals are hidden, and this is certainly one of the very best deals that is available out there. We have with us the family of Captain Glenn P. Adams of the class of 1984 has for years generously supported cadet development in honor of the memory of the sacrificial service of their son. Mr. and Mrs. Adams are longtime friends in this department, and they could be here today, but representing them here today is Mr. Keith Matthews, class of 1984, former member of the math department, who is roommate of Captain Adams, but he's probably his proudest accomplishment I know in his life is he was my class leader when we were at the military intelligence course 25 years ago in Fort Huachuca. Now, our cadets have also had tremendous opportunities to study at our sister military academies, where they build strong relationships with future officers which will last in the years to come. And we are pleased to have a number of representatives from our allied countries who are here today. We have Major General Humberto Oviedo of the Military Attaché from Chile, Brigadier General Isaac Munoz Navarro from Mexico, Colonel Miguel Angel Conde Lopez from Spain, and Colonel Gustavo Formento from Uruguay. And we thank all of you for the tremendous opportunities you have provided for our cadets. But really the main purpose of today is for us as a faculty to be able to thank the people who are really responsible for this tremendous graduating class that you see here before you. And really the highlight for me of this whole day occurs after the ceremony when we get to meet you all and meet the families in our reception that we have right out in the foyer. And I would just tell you, if you're worried about rushing off to the reception, the superintendent's reception after this, yesterday the receiving line was running at about an hour's wait to get through. So no need for you to rush off. Please take time for us to get to meet you. Because really, when we spend time with these cadets and we see the things that they do and that they've accomplished, I mean, every year I get to meet a class of cadets that don't know one Chinese character, they don't know what any of the dots in Arabic mean, and by the time they leave here, they are standing up briefing presidents and generals fluently in 8 different languages on some of the most complex social and political problems in the world. We see them out meeting kings, we see them out doing charitable work all over the country, and when we, all over the countries all over the world, and when we look at them, we often ask, where does such a great group of Americans come from? But when I get to meet you all and meet the parents, it's when we understand where such a great group comes from. Now, as a parent, myself and most of our faculty I know that you spend most of your life believing that you have the most wonderful child in the world. And when they come and tell you that they want to go away to college, it's hard. When they say they want to go away to a military academy, it's especially hard. And so I really want to let you know today that you were right about them. And I want to thank you for entrusting us for the past 4 years with the honor of being able to teach your sons and daughters. They've made us laugh, they've made us smile, they've amazed us with their love of learning, with their spirit of service. They've challenged us with their questions. You told them never to stop asking why, and it's made the teaching of grammar very interesting for us. But honestly, and I think everyone on the faculty will agree with me, is as frustrating as the Army can be with its rules and regulations, that those fears really melt away when we walk into the classroom and get to spend what is an all too brief time with your sons and daughters. But you already know that, because you made them what they are today. So I want to thank you for letting us continue a little bit of what you started with these great folks. So cadets, I'm going to ask you to stand one more time, if you would. Now, you're going to hear a lot of talk this week and throughout your lives about role models and mentors, and I'm sure you've had some good ones, and you'll have some more in the future. But I want to make sure we take time today to thank the most important role models and mentors that you'll ever have in your life, and that's your parents. Thank you especially our distinguished guests, but especially the parents, for letting us be a small part of what you have done with these wonderful folks. And I say thank you, God bless you all, and God bless the United States of America.
Captain Glenn P. Adams Award for Excellence in Latin American Studies. Established in memory of Captain Glenn P. Adams, Jr., West Point class of 1984, who died in a helicopter crash in 1988 while serving his country. This award is given annually to the cadet who most emulates Captain Adams by excelling in the coursework of Latin American Studies that includes Spanish or Portuguese, language, geography, history, economics, and political science. The winner of this year's award is Cadet Kyle Gordy. Here to present the award is Captain Adams' roommate, Mr. Keith Matthews, USMA class of 1984.
I'll hang on to this for just a moment. Presenters, I am told, are given the latitude to make a remark or two. I understand that my job as the first presenter is to set the gold standard for the brevity of these remarks. As a mathematics student, I studied foreign language. Everyone here studies foreign language. I studied the German foreign language, and I would like to share with you only the couple of language items that I recall distinctly, two of them. The first one from German class, from my German foreign language, my German officer instructor, visiting instructor. Herr Matthews, wachen Sie auf und stehen Sie auf, bitte. For you who are not German linguists, that is a rough rendition of, Cadet Matthews, please, if you would, wake up now and stand up for the rest of the class. The other bit of foreign language I learned from Glenn P. Adams. And when we were first class cadets and roommates together, he was dating a young lady from Brazil, whom he later married. And if I were in the room, which I spent more time in the room than he, studying, doing the optional calculus problem, and Glenn would be out organizing minutos. And then I was to run to the weight room and collect Glenn and bring him back as quickly as possible to college. And in the last 90 seconds of my remarks, I wish to share with you three messages from Glenn, because I am somewhat uniquely positioned to speak for him on this occasion. Before I forget, a message from Glenn Adams Sr., who was devastated at not being able to be here to present today, who insisted that I say to the parents of these cadets, in the times when you wonder, and we all do, as I do as a parent, have I done a good job? Look around you and don't ask that question again. The three messages from Glenn are: one, plan your fun. We plan our work, we plan our studies. Glenn planned the fun. He planned the fun for himself, for other cadets in the foreign language department in the study of Portuguese. Plan your fun. Don't neglect it. The second item from Glenn is, do not be afraid to have style and make a statement. Whereas most of us on auto purchase day get the little compact car and are very proud of it as firsties, Glenn went to his father and said, Dad, can I have the town car? He drove a 1975 pale yellow with full-size Lincoln town car. You could not see the sidewalk over the corners of the car. And that in one way made a statement, and made those sorts of statements that had style as long as I knew him. And the last and most important thing is the way he lived his life, with the motto that we must, as people, take calculated risks in order to live a full life. He did. You are. And as a mathematics instructor, I must leave you, of course, with a homework assignment. If you have not already done so, go to the offices of the Department of Foreign Languages before the sun sets tonight and read the poem on the plaque that is there with his name attached to it. No risk, no life.
The West essays in Chinese or Russian on building international trust and friendship. Rather than simply read a biography of General Lufkin, let me tell you what another great American general, Colin Powell, said about him. Byrne Lufkin is an American hero who has lived life to the fullest. He has served his nation in war, peacemaking, and in reconciliation. He is both a warrior and a diplomat. In the latest chapter of his remarkable life, he has dedicated himself to the healing arts and to passing on what he has learned to his children and to all our children. General Lufkin created the award in memory of those in his battalion who died fighting in Vietnam. One of those soldiers, Sergeant Larry Morford, influenced General Lufkin's life in a profound manner. The general had once asked Sergeant Morford why he had volunteered for the Army and for combat. He answered, "Sir, the job you and I are doing is the job of a beast, and the least beastly of us should be doing it." Sergeant Morford died in Vietnam living what he preached. This award hopes to emphasize the need to populate our armies with godly men and women who will search for ways to become better friends with all nations, and in this way avoid having to resort to arms to settle our differences. This year's recipients are Cadet Lloyd Casey Clemens for Chinese and Cadet Nathan Schaffner for Russian. Presenting the award for General Lufkin today is Dr. Bernardo Fernandez, CEO and President of the Cleveland Clinic. The Cleveland Clinic is a teaching hospital that is on the forefront of medical research and recognized nationwide as one of the best-run hospitals in the world.
Thank you. Good afternoon. It gives me great honor to be here with you. I did not do very well in math, so that's why I went into science. So I hardly ever listen to my professors anyhow when it came to math. So my apologies, so it will take a little bit longer. It is really an honor to be with you in the grounds upon the people that walked this institution. Many of those that we read in our history books have all studied here. And as you know, much of the history that we teach was made by the people who taught us a lot here. It's just amazing to see what has taken place. On behalf of the Cleveland Clinic, the organization that I represent, I congratulate all of you on your graduation today. And as I told General Trainer, also congratulations on reaching U.S. News and World Report #1 ranking among public colleges. That is an amazing honor. So congratulations to the college. You may not know a lot about the Cleveland Clinic. If I can just take 1 second to tell you about it. This is not by no means a commercial, but really to give you an idea of the threats that we have with the military that binds us. Besides the fact that we've also been in the U.S. News and World Report, the Cleveland Clinic was really founded by 4 physicians who decided to enlist in World War I. There in the battlefields of Europe, they realized how well a hospital could run, how the military was able to bring all the different specialties to work together and care for the wounded soldiers. And there in the battlefields of Europe, it's where the Cleveland Clinic was born. I believe also the Mayo Clinic was born during the same time period. Take it a step further, the book on the history of the Cleveland Clinic was named To Act as a Unit, again signifying the unity and the teamwork amongst the physicians. You may have heard of our current CEO, Dr. Toby Cosgrove, one of our probably the most premier surgeon in the world, heart surgeon in the world. I was asking him, what was your service like in Vietnam? He served in Da Nang. They were able to evacuate in a nine-month period over 22,000 wounded soldiers. They were able to provide the care that very few hospitals in America could actually provide. For that, he received the Vietnam Commendation Medal, the Bronze Star, and the Air Medal. And I asked him, what did you learn leadership-wise from the military that led you to lead such an organization like the Cleveland Clinic? He says, the experience of participating, and I'm quoting you, in a conflict zone taught me the importance of teamwork, which the military carried out at a very, very high level. At that time, wounded soldiers received better care than they would have at the finest hospitals back in the U.S. Many of the things I've learned about caring for patients and organizing care teams, I have tried to carry through my personal practice and the organization of the Cleveland Clinic. I don't think you can overemphasize what I learned, and that's the importance of teamwork for acting as a unit in healthcare. So thank you for the military for giving us that. You've heard much about Byrne as a general that we all love and admire. Indeed, he's been a role model for many of us. He graduated at West Point, as already been mentioned, in 1957, and received a Distinguished Graduate Award in 2007. He embodies the duty, honor, and country. He is a gentleman who is not known for the ranks that he received and over medals that he received in commendation from duty. He's best known if you look for the records and how much he loved and his care for the soldiers. As someone who's a leader of businesses and companies, I think it's a lesson that we can all take. That the people who are the ones that we ignore, the unsung heroes of our companies, are the ones that we need to pay attention to. And that is how he met Sergeant Wilford, who eventually went on to change his life. The sergeant's goal was to be a medical missionary, not to be in a war. So he oftentimes volunteered for the toughest of assignments. Because he was killed, Byrne, or General Lefty, decided after his retirement that he would become a medical missionary. What lessons could he learn from the military? What lessons could he learn from being a healer that he could take to other countries and be able to share the fact that the American people are good and have goodwill? And he found that number one, the languages, understanding the languages. So Byrne left and speaks 7 languages, very fluent in both Russian and Chinese. The second is how can we teach others to take care of themselves, how to heal each other. Those 2 qualities is what we're been backing with the Friendship Fund. And it is my honor today on behalf of Byrne Lefty to present that award. Before I finish, let me just leave you, the graduating class, with a couple of thoughts on big on quotes. One written by Spanish, Jose Ortega y Gasset. His life is a petty thing unless it is moved by the indomitable urge to extend its boundaries, only in proportion of the desires of living more than we actually really live. The last one, I think, embodies the message of Byrne Lefty and the Friendship Fund. This is by Barth in 1960, who said, more history is made by secret handshakes than by battles, bills, and proclamations. And with that, congratulations to both of you. Thank you.
Dr. Fernandez a gift on behalf of the Department of Foreign Languages and Major General Lefty. The Lieutenant General Ying Shin Wen Cadet Travel and Cultural Awards is a newly established award this year in honor of Lieutenant General Wen, USMA class of 1909, who was the first cadet from an Asian nation. Lieutenant General Wen rose to the position of Deputy Commanding General of Chiang Kai-shek's National Gendarmerie in 1930 and served as the senior military delegate to the United Nations Military Staff Committee. Lieutenant General Wen and his wife are laid to rest at the West Point Cemetery. This award was made possible by the generous donation of Mr. C.C. Tung, the chairman of the Orient Overseas International Corporation, and Mrs. Harriet Wen Tung, the granddaughter of Lieutenant General Wen. The recipient of this year's award is Cadet Michael Kerber. Here to present the award and coming all the way from Hong Kong is Mrs. Harriet Wen Tung.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed a great honor for me to be here today. I just wanted to tell you a little bit about my grandfather, so I hope you'll bear with me as I do a little bit of recollection. Grandfather was the first Chinese graduate of West Point, and he had many very important positions in the Chinese army. But we just knew him as Ye Ye. years old and my brother Ricky 7, we went to live with Yaya, Popo, and Uncle Howard in Washington, D.C. We had gone to live with my grandfather because my father had decided to change his career to become a mechanical engineer, and that would entail him to go to school full-time. And when we were going to live with my grandfather, I remember my parents telling us, "Your grandfather is a very famous military general, and he will not tolerate unruly children." So of course, we were very scared, but our fears were so unfounded because grandfather was indeed a very caring and responsible grandfather. He was not a very tall man, but he had a very commanding presence because of his very erect military West Point posture and his trim physique. He had beautiful eyes that saw everything. And he very rarely lost his temper, but when he did, he would just have to look at us with those blazing eyes and a raised voice, and we would just behave ourselves. Grandfather was a man of few words. He never bragged or talked about his exploits in his illustrious career in China. Rather, he chose to keep those experiences private. But all I can say is that we had heard many good things about grandfather from others. That under his leadership, the 70,000-man Revenue Guard stood out as a well-organized and effective military unit, noted for superior equipment and training. They were one of the most effective forces of the Chinese army. During the 4 years that we lived with our grandfather was always willing and able to lend a helping hand to a friend or a family member in need. They sometimes came to stay with us until their circumstances improved. We learned about generosity from our grandfather. And he gave us a simple but disciplined and healthy life. In his retirement, grandfather moved to own a small business where everyone was involved. But he himself worked harder than anyone else. Grandfather, or Yaya, never complained, and he lived his life by his example. Grandfather cherished his years at West Point, and in his memory, I wish to present this General Ying Shin Wen Travel Award to a deserving cadet for study and travel in China. I hope it will foster cooperation and understanding between China and the United States, and that it will rekindle the connection that brought grandfather to West Point over 100 years ago. Thank you.
In addition, realizing the ever-growing importance of U.S.-China relations and the United States' role in East Asia, in 2010, the Wen family established the Lieutenant General Ying Shin Wen Memorial Award for Excellence in East Asian Studies, in honor of Lieutenant General Wen, as a testament to his legacy and the continuing personal relationships to his alma mater, West Point. The recipient of this year's award is Cadet Huskar Ibrahim. Here to present the award is Mr. Alfred Wen.
Thank you. It's indeed a privilege and an honor to represent the Wen family in presenting this award to Cadet Abraham in his memory. When my grandfather came here in 1909, it's sort of hard, it was always hard for me to consider the fact that China still had an emperor. Citizens were required to wear a queue. He came here after the Boxer Rebellion. The United States set up an indemnity fund to encourage Chinese nationals to come to the U.S., learn at universities, and help, and I think China wanted it too, to help modernize China. It always seems that it's in the midst of a transformation. If you read the paper today, it's an ongoing thing. It's not a process that ended at one particular time. He came here and and West Point had a very transformative effect on his life. He came here because he wanted to go back, strengthen the military, to modernize it. They've had some disappointment, well, I shouldn't say disappointments, it's setbacks in relations with foreign countries, the Boxer Rebellion being the culmination of that at that time. But while he was here, he picked up the values that West Point instills in its cadets. He formed bonds with his fellow cadets. I like to have a picture up there with his classmates. And it is, I find it sort of very interesting that while he was here as a foreign student, I don't think he was considered that, or maybe he was, but he was clearly part of a group. And I think his classmates felt that he was part of the core. If you look at the photo, everybody is pretty grim-faced, looking off to the distance, wondering what's happening next. It's different from, I don't know what your graduation photos are today. I know mine where people smile at me. If you notice this one, no one's smiling. However, he went back, as my cousin had mentioned, had a role in shaping the development of his country, raising its military standards, and also creating bonds with his classmates that he had here, the United States in general. And I would hope that in the future, the U.S. and China can reinstitute that relationship, because I think it's very important. And it was important for him, had an impact on his life, had an impact on how China developed at that particular point in time. And I want to congratulate Cadet Abraham, and I hope you are inspired by this service. Thank you.
In honor of Brigadier General Smith, West Point class of 1958, and chairman of the board of directors of the foundation from 2005 to 2009. The award honors 2 graduating cadets who have demonstrated outstanding character and achievement in the semester abroad program and cultural immersion program. Presenting the award today is Brigadier General Smith himself. The recipient of this year's award for semester abroad achievement is Cadet Mark Bedouin. The recipient of this year's award for cultural immersion is Cadet Josh Meadow.
George Olmsted graduated second man and first captain in the class of 1922. In the same year, his brother was the brigade commander in the graduating class at Annapolis. During World War II, General Olmsted served in the China, Burma, India theater. And he came away from that experience imbued with the idea that it is extremely important for military officers in the United States Armed Forces to understand other cultures and to speak other languages other than English. He later went on to his very successful career as an international businessman and international financier. And he decided to give back to his country by giving the bulk of his considerable estate to establish the George and Carol Olmsted Foundation. The foundation does two things. One, all these are focused on his objectives of cultural immersion and speaking foreign languages. General Olmsted's mantra was, the greatest officers must be educated broadly. The greatest officers must be educated broadly. We fund, in part, the cultural immersion programs that the service academies send cadets and midshipmen to. And secondly, we fund the Olmsted Scholar Program. Now I want to take a page from Colonel DeMille and address my comments now, not to the graduating cadets who've got too much on their mind, but to their mothers and to their fiancés. We want to pay attention to this. The Olmsted Scholar Program is offered to, it's competitive selection, and it's offered to graduates who have spent already between 3 and 11 years service. It's based on their standing in academics as a cadet and their performance as an officer. So when you have had when your husband or wife, this is addressed to the fiancés, or your son or daughter addressed to the mothers, when they've had their several tours deployed, and when they've finished their company command, you remind them of the Olmsted Scholar Program, which is, as Colonel DeMille said, the best deal around. It is 2 years of graduate study overseas in a non-English speaking country, preceded by a year of language training. You are completely removed from your active duty service. You wear civilian clothes the entire time. You have no military responsibilities whatsoever, and you're paid a generous stipend, which allows you to travel during this time. And believe me, when you reach this stage in your career, you will be ready for a couple of years away from the kinds of deployments that you will have received. So, mothers and fiancés, please take note of the Olmsted Scholar Program.
Presenting the award is Dr. Martha Gallagher.
I had the privilege to talk to Judith at the beginning of her study, even though she's Chinese descendant, but she's not a native speaker. I want to make sure that she gets all the credit. I also had the privilege, along with our visiting professor, Wang Tan, taught her the last 2 semesters. Her improvement just encouraged us very much. So we would like to congratulate her for her tremendous improvement.
Our next award is the Premio Ejército Español, given by the Spanish Army in respect for the excellent relations that have always existed between our two armies. This award consists of a special edition of Don Quixote in Spanish and recognizes the cadet most distinguished in learning Spanish whose native language is not Spanish. On behalf of the Chief of Staff of the Spanish Army, the military attaché to the Embassy of Spain in Washington, D.C., Colonel Miguel Ángel Conde Lopez is presenting the award to Cadet Margaret Lau.
Good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. This is a great honor for me to present this award on behalf of the Chief of the Staff of the State. Nowadays, the Spanish language is the third language in the world, the second in the United States of America, and it is the official language in several international organizations. Here, at this point, 25% of the students in each class registers for Spanish language class. During the past several years, the United States and Spain have maintained an intense exchange program whose main objective is to expose the cadets from both countries to the particular social, cultural, and military situations involving within their own language. No doubt that this great effort made by both academies is impacting the capabilities of our junior officers, the communication skills with other people, and their leadership's development to better serve our countries. Cadet Margaret E. Lau is a clear and real example of this program. She spent one semester abroad to attend the Spanish Military Academy and the University of Zaragoza, where she deeply got immersed not only in the Spanish language, but also in the Spanish culture as well. Therefore, I want to congratulate Cadet Lau on her achievement and wish her a long and successful military career. It's my honor and my pleasure to offer her this award consisting of a special edition of the El Quijote in Spanish language. El Quijote was written by Miguel de Cervantes, the most illustrious Spanish writer, who was also a humble soldier in the battleship of Lepanto in 1571. He was able to use at the same time the sword and the quill, so his life can be a good example for all of us. Thank you.
I can choose the voice from Mars.
Here to present our next two awards is the Chief of the Military Mission of the Chilean Embassy in Washington, D.C., Major General Humberto Oviedo. The Premio Ejército de Chile is presented to the cadet who has demonstrated the most progress and achievement in Spanish. This year's award winner is Cadet Antonio Diaz.
On behalf of the Chilean Army, today is a very honor to present this award to Antonio Diaz, Cadet Antonio Diaz, because as he knows, and also the classmates know, to learn in a second language, and sometimes the third language is no easy. I can understand very well how hard he works during these 4 years. I also had experience abroad. I have a chance to visit us. I also have a chance the last months at the final program where they work into the final presentation, I have a chance to see one of the classes and how they prepare the briefing to create the most important experience for probably part of your professional life. Thank you very much. All of you have a chance to stay here and to stay. Thank you very much for your enthusiasm, motivation to obtain this very high score, to recognize for all the classmates and also for your faculty members. This is the reason I'm very proud to present the plate for our father of the nation, General Bernardo Higgins. He fought, as you Lem said, he fought for the freedom of Chile and also for part of America. Thank you very much and congratulations.
Is awarded to the cadet in Spanish capstone course who most exemplifies the spirit of teamwork. This year's recipient, who was nominated by his peers, is Cadet Eric Anderson.
I have a chance to know the cadets in Chile, and also really I appreciate how they lead the comrades, not only to myself, not for how they propose the candidate for all the classmates, and also how they create a very nice environment in our academy for other cadets from Chile. I am very proud to present, for me, and also probably all of you have agreed, one of the most important awards that one of the soldiers can receive in our career, the best camera. This is for the leadership, and also I think your start as the best lieutenant probably in your unit. Thank you very much.
Our next award is the Premio Ejército Mexicano. This award is presented by the Secretary of National Defense of Mexico in recognition of West Point's participation in Mexico's Bicentennial celebration in September of 2010. The award is a miniature replica, saber, of Mexican General Jose Maria Morelos y Pavón. Here to present the award is the Mexican Defense Military and Air Attaché from the Mexican Embassy in Washington, D.C., Brigadier General Cruz Isaac Munoz Navarro. The award winner is Cadet Matthew Bolden. Cadet Bolden was unable to attend today's ceremony. Accepting the award on his behalf is Cadet Brian Caston.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate this honor. I like to speak Spanish with practice this officer. A nombre de mi general Guillermo Galán, secretario de la Defensa Nacional, me complace entregarle a usted por reconocimientos de excelencia en el idioma español la réplica del excelentísimo Morelos, quien es uno de los próceres de la independencia de México.
Charles P. Stone Award for Excellence in Arabic was established in honor of Brigadier General Stone, who served as Chief of Staff of the Khedive Army of Egypt between 1864 and 1877. This year's award recipient is Cadet Peter Nurchin. Presenting the award this year is Dr. Rajeshwaran.
Churchill once wrote a letter to his friend, a long letter. He said, "I'm very sorry, I'm writing a long letter because I did not have time to write a short one." And for the fear of being zapped, I was told yesterday that if you speak for more than 2 seconds, I may get hit with this one. I want to talk just very briefly about Pete. I knew him since he was a year in my intermediate class, and I taught him many classes. This cadet exemplifies what we call silence is bliss. He sits the whole
hours sometimes saying nothing, and you feel that he's completely lost it. Then, eloquently, he opens his mouth and speaks with no errors, with no mistakes, and I may add, with deep thought. When he came back from semester abroad, in the beginning of this year, he came to me, he wanted to write an honor thesis, and he was telling me he wants to write about terrorism. I said, Pete, I don't do journalistic work here. You could open CNN and listen. I said, if you want to do something, you have to do it with books, scholarly and deep. And he did beautifully. I will miss him, and for somebody who talks too much like him. I have to learn something from Pete, that sometimes silence is really bliss, even in foreign languages. Thank you so much.
Are the Military Speaking and Reading Awards. These awards are presented to the outstanding students of their respective languages in the field of advanced speaking and reading in military texts. Presenting the German Military Speaking and Reading Award is West Point's German Liaison Officer, Lieutenant Colonel Jürgen Fedor. This year's recipient is Cadet Charles Paddock.
First of all, I regret my bad English performance, but it is the same as with my spouse. I love her, I know her for a long time, but I never will control her. So, I have the great privilege to award the Military Reading and Speaking Award to Charles Paddock. Charles, you have performed inside my course very well, but however, you deserve this award not only for your performance. He mostly awards this award because his leadership perfectly matched with the German leadership philosophy in my army. And the key word is modesty. We have a saying in Germany that says, be more than you appear, or you should highlight extraordinary military skills that are highlighted in modesty. You have shown it all time, and that impressed me deeply. And that's really the secret to be a leader of character later when you are inside your military life. Where the similarities between person ends, there's a character and the personality starts. So, thank you for all. I've learned a lot. First of all, you get the German coin. A book from Berlin. We have a close friendship, side by side, this was in Berlin. And last but not least, this award, which shows you that I'm great job. Take care.
The Brazilian Army Award for Excellence in Portuguese will be presented by Colonel Fernando Civilani, the Brazilian Army Exchange Officer. The winner is Cadet Sean O'Donnell.
Since 1946, we have been having one Brazilian exchange officer over here in West Point. Since then, we have been trying to convince Americans that soccer is really important. I'm just the third guy over here who failed in this job. But anyway, let's get down to business. And since then, one Brazilian exchange officer has been awarding outstanding cadets attending Portuguese courses. And now, 2011, it's an honor to congratulate Cadet O'Donnell for his outstanding performance in the military readings Portuguese course. It's not only about performance in classes, but also, and the most important, this is about his military behavior and his understanding about the Brazilian Army culture and its mindset. To know one country, one new language, It's difficult. It's not easy. But we have something more difficult and more challenging. That's it. Know how people think, how other nations do their business. And this is somewhat where our cadets are going to reach the highest level about this, understanding how people do things, do business in Brazil, and why. And congratulations once again, all the best for you.
Presenting the award for military speaking and reading in Spanish is Major Carlos Perez, Mexican Army Exchange Officer to West Point. This year's award recipient is Cadet Carlos Velez Rodriguez.
At first, I want to apologize for my voice, but the pollen here, the allergy, is not the same in Mexico. So, I will miss really the pollen, but I prefer the pollution, air pollution. To be an army officer is more than a profession. It represents the spirit and the tradition of the soldiers through the time and the commitment with the future. Today, I have the privilege to give you this Mexican cadet cyber that represents the honor, the courage, duty, country, and loyalty of the new generation of the leader of character of my army and the Mexican Military Academy, in recognition of the effort and dedication that you demonstrate through the course LS 436, speaking and reading in the military context.
In the study of a particular foreign language. The inscription reads, "For excellence in their specific language, your outstanding performance and dedication to the study of foreign language reflects favorably on your potential as a future soldier statesman. Your unique combination of language skills and cultural awareness will undoubtedly enhance the Army's ability to meet its worldwide requirements. Please hold your applause until all the recipients from the language are called forward." Arabic scrolls will be presented by Dr. Raja Schwartz. The recipients are Cadets Braden Adams, Philip Baki, Caitlin Beal, Frederick Blicky, Ryan Broad, Zachary Dacre, Donald Dixon, Robert Gibson, Stefan Griffith, Matthew Hughes, Stephen Kletcher, Peter Knutchen, Andrea Lloyd, Lauren Looper, Joshua Meadow, Anise Medford, James Myers, Michael Nimick, Michael Nilsson, Elia Orpesa, Brian Schubert, Robert Walcott, Andrew Wheeler, and William Yankasasas. And graduating with honor are cadets Peter Knutchen and Ryan Brown.
Cadets in 1995. One of them asked me, I keep it very short, one of them asked me before this award ceremony, he said, "Sir, are you going to miss us? It's going to be hard." Well, I said, "Of course, but I'd like to bring something to it. It's not answered. I heard it once in an English play. We, all of us, people, leave where they start for their life, looking for adventure, looking to discover happiness, only to discover after 20, 30 years that what they're yearning for, what they're looking for is in that place where they start. And they would all come back here, and I hope I'll be healthy and old, and I teach with them, and
they're always welcome because they are a very special group. Thank you so much.
Chinese scrolls will be presented by Dr. Martha Gallagher. The recipients are cadets Katrina Brown, Lloyd Clemens, Kevin Davis, Johnny Garcia, Joseph Delinas, Stuart Glenister, Joey Gonzalez, Ramsey Goodner, Aaron Green, Erin Gruber, James Hahn, Eric Hawley, Kyle Heineman, Uzkar Ibrahim, Judith Lee, Ronald Medina, Christopher Nicholson, Nathan Ramia. And graduating with honors are cadets Joseph Delinas, Aaron Gruber, and Joey Gonzalez. Cadet Nathan Ramia is also a Rotary Scholarship Award winner.
We are very much privileged. Invited the two visiting professors from China, Dr. Liu Yuanman and Ms. Wang Can. With their help, I can proudly say that our students made an unprecedented improvement, and they did so well. I would like to take this opportunity to thank them and thank all our students hardworking. Thank you.
French scrolls will be presented by Dr. Jerry Smith. The recipients are cadets Daniel Bader, Alexander DeLuca, Michael Ibanez, Alexander Kaimak, Adam Lawrence, Doug Lee, Alexander Lobo, Joshua Marlett, Arturo Rodriguez, Benjamin Snyder, Joseph Swain, Zachary Taylor, Mark Triller, Nate Webster, and Michael Woods.
Well, guys, we made it, right? Some of you have been to France, some of you have been to Africa. You spent a lot of time in the classroom with us, for which we're grateful. We won't even calculate the number of hours of homework you did. That's okay, you can laugh. We're very proud of you, and we're going to miss you. You're a very special group this year. Every group is special in its way, but the things that you've accomplished, the growth you've made, have really touched all of us. We want you to go out there and keep growing, keep learning, okay? And show the world how great you are. All right? Thanks for all your hard work. Thank you so much.
German scrolls will be presented by Dr. Johann Vazulik. The recipients are cadets Rachel Anderson, Lenora Early, Theodore Hohan, Soren Jurgensen, Daniel Kerber, Stuart Slifer, Zachary West, and Joshua Young. Cadet Daniel Kerber was also named the Rudy Kohler Fellow for a semester abroad.
The pleasure to be the academic counselor for all of these cadets and have had many of them in class.
And it's been great to see how they've developed over the past 2 years. I know that my students specifically have learned some very important lessons for their future. And they've also studied in Germany or in Austria, every single one of them, either for a summer or for a semester. They've studied at the Helmut-Schmidt-Universität in Hamburg, at the University of the Bundeswehr in Munich, as well as at the Theresian Military Academy in Wiener Neustadt in Austria. And they've also been in units all over Germany. So congratulations, guys, and I look forward to serving with you out in the Army. Portuguese scrolls will be presented by Dr. Rebecca Jones Kellogg. The recipients are cadets Ashley April, Rachel Burkhoff, Lisa Biancalana, Robert Dickey, James Fogo, Mark Freit, John Goodson, Kyle Gordy, Courtney Green, Jonathan Haynes, Brandon Casoni, Aubrey Lau, Thomas Mulligan, Sean O'Donnell, Paul Rojas, Victoria Schul, Jolanda Sullivan, Mary Took, Jose Torres. Graduating with honors is Cadet Ashley April.
I will say that as I was trying to think of something that I could possibly say to these guys if they haven't heard from me already, being their Department Academic Advisor, Study Abroad Advisor, OIC on trips to Africa, Portugal, and also having seen some of them in Brazil. The one thing I can possibly think that they might listen to me is something about their future. So hopefully you'll all take away from you how much fun you had in class, how much fun you had abroad, and of course, boa sorte no futuro e com tudo.
Russian scrolls will be presented by Major Dwayne White. The recipients are Cadets Mark Anderson, Stuart Coffey, Matthew Faust, Spencer Feliciano Lyon, Brandon Fox, Tyler Guest, Christopher Hawkins, John Holt, Richard Hood, Mackenzie Hewlin, Melissa Ivanko, Olin Kennedy, Manuel Ledzema Vera, Hosea McCoy, Catherine Murphy, Derek Obermeyer, Eric Pietraz, Nathan Schaffner, Nicole Singer, Zachary Spear, Eric Tonsfeld, James Zorden. Graduating with honors are Cadets Richard Hood and Zachary Spear. Additionally, Cadets Matthew Faust and Richard Hood are recognized as local winners of the 2011 National Russian Essay Contest, sponsored by the American Council of Teachers of Russian.
As the last two speakers have said, I've also had the pleasure of being the academic counselor for the last 3 years for this group, and I can truly tell you that this is an amazing group. We have spent a lot of time in the classroom, a lot of time in Russia, a lot of time in Kazakhstan, a lot of time in DC, all over the place with this group, and it's been a true pleasure for me. Knowing that this moment where I was going to have to send them off was coming, you would think I would have something to say, but until a few days ago I didn't know what I was going to say this time, and I saw a friend of mine get promoted last week, and I'm going to do the non-West Point thing and completely plagiarize what he said because it sums up exactly what I want to say. We talk a lot about educating, training, and inspiring cadets here, and we make it our job to really focus on that inspiring piece. But what we tend to forget is that it really does go both ways. And what I will say is that the group of cadets that stands up in front of you right now has inspired me more than I can
I can tell you guys, they've inspired me to be a better instructor and a better officer, and I will tell you guys in front of all your family and friends that I would take any of you as a community leader of my company tomorrow. So thank you very much.
Spanish scrolls will be presented by Dr. Laura Bidler. The recipients are Cadets Eric Anderson, Matthew Bolian, Brian Caston, Luis Claspi, Ann Danzig, Jennifer Dunton, Margaret Lau, Sydney Menjivar, Travis Pendergrass, Amber Robertson, Joshua Rowling, Alexis Tori Santiago, and Carlos Velez Rodriguez. Graduating with honors are Cadets Amber Robertson and Joshua Rowling. Cadet Matthew Bowling is also recognized as a Rotary Scholar.
These guys are going to be lieutenants pretty soon. I figured they could figure it out themselves. Spanish always has the privilege of being the last group that keeps you from your cookies, so I try to be brief. As you already heard today, Spanish is the second most spoken language in the United States. But what you may not know is that of all the countries where Spanish is spoken only more in Mexico than in any other country. You may notice that this group is a little bit smaller than Arabic, Russian, and Chinese. We focus a little bit more recently on some of the less commonly taught languages. That being said, it doesn't mean that just because there are a lot of Spanish speakers in the United States that we don't need educated, literate officers in this language. One of the most important things that we teach in GFL is not only how to speak the foreign language, but to be an educated, literate, deeply, I can't think of the word in English, I can't think of it in Spanish, but an educated, literate speaker. This group has dealt this semester especially with some of the most intractable problems in Latin America today, including immigration, including drug trafficking. And I'm so proud of this group because not only have you improved in speaking and listening, of course you have, but in writing. And you all are now literate, well-written, as well as well-spoken Spanish speakers. So I congratulate you. Thank you very much.
I'm almost out of batteries and tape. So that is going to be pretty much the end of it.
The Beta Nu chapter of Phi Sigma Iota, the International Foreign Language Honor Society, was established at West Point in 1992. Cadets who have distinguished themselves in the field of foreign language study are inducted into this prestigious honor society during a special dinner ceremony held each spring. The class of 2011 members of Phi Sigma Iota are listed in the program. In addition to the awards presented this afternoon, the following foreign language awards will receive awards at the United States Military Academy Awards Convocation on Friday afternoon at Eisenhower Hall. The Brigadier General Charles J. Barrett Memorial Award for Best Overall Performance in Foreign Language Studies will be awarded to Cadet Joseph Luis Jelinas. The Colonel Philip Matthews Memorial Award for Excellence in Russian Studies will be awarded to Cadet Zachary Spear. The Steuben Society of America Award for Excellence in German will be awarded to Cadet Rachel Anderson. The Daughters of the American Colonists Award for Excellence in Spanish will be awarded to Cadet Amber Robertson. The National Society Daughters of Founders and Patriots of America Award for Excellence in Portuguese will be awarded to Cadet Ashley April. Finally, the Order of Lafayette Award for Excellence in French will be awarded to Cadet Alexander Jeffrey Keimer. Before we conclude the Department of Foreign Languages Award ceremony, I would like to
days come easy and the moments pass slow, and each road leads you where you wanna go. And if you're faced with a choice and you have to choose, then choose the one that means the most to you. And if one door opens to another door closed, I hope you keep on walking till you find a window. If it's cold outside, show the world the warmth in your smile. But more than anything, more than anything, my wish for you is that this life becomes all that you want it to. Your dreams stay big, you always stay smart. You never need to carry more than you can hold. And while you're not thinking where you're getting to, I hope you know somebody loves you and wants the same things too. Yeah, this is my wish. I hope you never look back, but you never forget all the ones who love you in the place you live. I hope you always forgive and you never regret, and you help somebody every chance you get. Oh, you find God's grace in every mistake and always give more than you take. But more than anything, yeah, more than anything, my wish for you is that this life becomes all that you want it to. You always stay big, you always stay small. You never need to carry more than you can hold. And while you're not thinking where you're getting to, I hope you know somebody loves you and wants the same thing.
Who's this little youngster down here? Come on, Rob. Michael. Michael. Come on with Rob. Here we go.
West Point. And we the best.
All right. Okay, here we go. Got the pictures, the video cameras going. There we go. Hey, nice. There they are. Introduce us to Dr. Swery. Now, did you were you here for the foreign language?
Yes.
And you got one of the awards.
Didn't get any of the awards.
No.
Got the scroll.
Got the scroll. Okay, wait a minute. Let me see the football ring.
Show the ring.
Man, that looks like brass knuckles or something. Like you take out. You're like the enforcer.
Right here, man.
Showing it up, baby.
Okay, so how do you know this guy, Mike?
I know him from Arabic class.
Okay. Now you're not Arabic, are you?
Yes.
You are.
He's Lebanese.
Oh, you are.
I'm in Beirut.
Oh, you are from Beirut. Oh, this is your kid.
Oh, Diana's father is from Juni, right?
Juni, yeah.
And your mom is from Palestine. So.
Yeah. So where are you? You came from Lebanon? Yeah.
No, from Oceanside. This is my mom.
From Oceanside. Oh, hi.
Nice.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're like, yeah.
There they are.
And now you have videotape.
I'm Lebanese. Oh,
Hi guys.
Oh, whatever.
There they are.
Don't worry, one day. I'm married to one I speak more than you.
Oh, there she is. I've met her before. No.
And you're the nice side, you know.
No. I'm the lucky side. There they are. Dr. Trey. This is Patrick. And Victoria. There they are.
Say hi, Dr.
Oh,
on YouTube.
fantastic. Good.
This is great.
This is it. Foreign.
He's
So I have to say something?
Yes.
Don't worry, we already have you on film. I filmed the whole thing.
I think that's great, you know.
Okay.
Well, the best.
Thank you. Thank you. He's a good boy.
If I did not run away fast enough from Lebanon, I got stuck with you and anything like that,
Here they are.
Excellent.
Here they are. Okay. Nice. Now listen, I did a lot of the football videos, or some of them. Where was he ever, like I went to the Army Notre Dame thing, and I tried to get a lot of the players on the side of the field, and a couple of...
Yes, he did. Yes, he started 2 years, left tackle.
Oh man, that is so cool. That is so cool. Yeah, what a ring.
We were lucky.
That was cool.
We were very lucky. He got in and made it.
Back and forth on different things, so good to see you. Congratulations. It's been a long time coming, but fantastic. And where are you headed?
3rd Brigade, Fort Campbell, sir.
Oh, you got my number still?
No, not yet, sir.
I'll be there in a month.
Really?
Absolutely.
Will you be with 5th Group?
Yeah, I'm going to be with 5th Group. I'm
Okay.
taking command over there, so
Oh, great.
Absolutely. I think we got a house
Oh, is
there.
So you're going to the 101st?
No, I'm going to 5th Group. They're right there at Fort Campbell as
Okay.
well. So yeah, we'll be there.
Really?
And Ted Hoham's going to be there.
So when do you go? When do you relocate?
I've got a report on the 1st of July. So I'm
Really?
actually tomorrow's my last day here at West Point. Next week we're loading up our household goods and shipping off. So in about a week we'll be heading out as well. And
well, thank
so
you.
I'm excited. The reason I say I think we've got a house is because they're building a house for us. We put a contract in on it, but the weather's been horrible there, and it's almost no way in the world that they're going to. Well, it's off post. I mean,
okay.
So, yeah, but
very
it's not
nice.
looking good for them finishing on time. So we may be back to the drawing board. I'm not sure how it's going to work out.
Okay, so this is the extent. This is the extent of Mike's sociology.
Where are you coming from? We're coming from the Arabic.
Oh yeah, just send it. This is the problem we've had in the town with 2 kids. They got so much stuff going on, you can't keep up with it.
There you go.
Yeah, they want to go to
Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah, everybody goes. Is that everybody goes?
Yeah.
So,
Pretty much.
So Michelle Obama is...
Unfortunately, the sociology thing is over.
Yeah, they went to another one.
Colonel Smith, he's got airborne and air assault.
Yes.
He's got ranger tab.
Yes,
or
jump
pen.
master.
He's got jump master. He's got, and as my father said, the most important medal of all, the, I guess it's the combat infantry badge?
Yes, CIB. Yes, sir.
That's the one you get if you're under fire.
Yes, sir.
There it is. Very
So in
good.
Afghanistan.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your service.
So when are we going to see you all again?
Sir, is
Definitely Saturday. I asked Josh to pick up, one of you guys has to pick up the flag.
Okay.
I'll put it outside my office. And so, because I don't know how I'm going to get in on Saturday, because Saturday parking is going to be crazy. So
Right.
here's my workaround, is if I can get you guys to grab the flag, because you can stick it in the barracks and just carry it out.
Yes.
Might be.
What I'll probably do is just ride my motorcycle over there. It's just easy, because I can go through the traffic and get there. Because the traffic is going to be crazy Saturday. And the MPs are going to do a wonderful job of shutting it down.
And what's this other parachute badge you have here on the left?
German. I jump with the Germans. So he'll get it. You know, that's one of the beauties about being an infantry guy. Eventually, you'll get to do all that stuff.
Right.
Whatever you want to do. No, you will. You definitely will.
Does he get to keep using the German proficiency badge even after he graduates?
Yes.
That would be on the ORG.
Oh, it's nice to see the star.
So
in
where
there.
this, all the rest of it disappears. Oh, his name, he gets to keep that too.
Yeah, hopefully.
Okay, guys, let's go.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, where do you live? You live in Highland?
I live right out in Fort Montgomery.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you do, right, so that's...
Yeah, I used to live over here in the Lee area, but what we found is that we couldn't enter. Lee is like, if you come down from the hospital,
Yeah,
there's a bunch of brick houses.
40 hours,
That's what he thinks.
I'm better.
Yeah, you can barely fit through the door.
There we go.
With each other.
There we go. We're gonna
We've broken some furniture
Hey,
sometimes.
Colonel Reed to the official
Maybe
video.
some windows. Yeah, we broke some windows.
Oh, yeah.
We can't. We missed you.
We missed him, yeah.
Right?
We broke it when it had the plastic on.
And you gotta put up with that.
was a lot.
And then
You're a good boy.
you have to watch all this?
Vicky is good. Vicky has learned how to defend herself.
Yeah.
She's gonna be a
Because
tough.
brothers
With the
and
two older brothers. What grade are you in?
7th.
Okay.
She's gonna be winning the Grapple Award.
You got the house all to yourself with mom and dad.
Yeah, it's so quiet.
When Patrick came home, there was like a huge fight the first night. He goes, I wish he would go back.
We have one in college and another one who she'll be going to college next year as a freshman. So we'll have almost like you guys, we'll have a junior and then a freshman, and then we have a little boy who's 6.
Oh, okay.
So next
That keeps you young.
Exactly, exactly. That's what my wife and I said. We hang out. We hang out with all the young parents. We don't hang out with we hang out with all the young parents.
And then wonder why you let your kid do things. And your kid is
I'm
like,
worn out.
I'm worn out.
And he's fine, you know. He's not gonna hurt.
He's not even at that age.
Yeah,
You
I
have to think about getting worn out, you know?
Yeah.
Perception.
We were just wondering, you'll probably do that. We were also wondering, sir, if there's I don't even know what like awards were I could have gotten at the sociology award ceremony.
You got the well, you were the highest academic average in PL 372.
Nice. Good times.
But Josh, I don't know if you have a.
You know what? You could probably stay the night in there. Nobody will even notice. You didn't even need a room.
Yeah, there you go.
You guys tired of all this shit?
Okay.
We saved them 2
all
days
this praise is being
We
heaped
only
on
brought
Mike.
them yesterday. They took the train.
Are you tired of all this praise is being heaped
Oh my God, we had the 2 of them come by themselves on Metro.
I remember when I graduated.
Please, though, man.
This is how I do YouTube.
No, we're good. We're good.
Okay, this is the end. Okay. Okay, so this is the end
Let's go see
of the sociology visit. We missed the awards. Michael got one of the scrolls. Mike checking in here to see if he has an award from the sociology event. Yeah, this is beautiful. Can I stay here? Let's see if he... Do you think this is another reception?
Yeah, but they're way done. Looks like so.
Right.
That's going.
Yeah, this is a good idea. Your daughter is going to
more movies
to Fort Campbell.
Fort Campbell.
Fort Campbell.
Second
Now,
grade.
why is she going there?
Why?
Is she doing military intelligence?
Am I? But she also heard he's going. So.
Ah, there he is.
Sure.
He's a talker.
Oh God. That's bad.
Okay. There we go. Okay, so there it is, the family.
Okay, tell
the
me
family photo.
Do you want it tighter? You want me to take one of my picture and email it to you? I got a
Yeah, that
still.
would
that be better?
Well, let's try both.
Jack, grab my camera out of it, would you please?
There are about a lot of...
Okay, Major Smithson.
Yes, sir.
You're a professor in the sociology department?
Department of Social Sciences, sir. So,
fantastic.
Political science and econ is...
And you run across this guy how long ago?
I'm sorry, sir?
How long ago did you know my son?
I met your son back in November at SCUSA, the Senior Conference on U.S. Affairs. Mike
Nice.
worked with my wife, Rosa, on the Mideast Policy Roundtable. And
How was that?
it was great.
I love that. I had a great time.
My wife connected Mike and I together because Mike, as you know, for Projects Day did some work on Yemen, and a lot of my dissertation research is on nation building and counterinsurgency in Yemen and Aden.
Really?
So,
do you have a doctorate?
You're the counter.
I'm working on it right now, sir. I defended my proposal, and
oh wow!
Between training cadets up at Buckner and working on a DC research project for other cadets. I'm working on my dissertation. So busy, but you've got, as you all know, you've got a tremendous amount to be proud of. I know Mike's going to do great as an officer, infantry, and whatever you continue to do. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yep.
Oh.
So, but it was good. It was good seeing you.